There are probably a few of you that are thinking, is this some kind of religion? Is this some new age thing? Is he a hippie? What's going on? I can tell you it's not new age. I, of course, as any good accountant, would do my research, and I looked it up. And about 2,600 years ago, a man named Buddha said, what a man thinks, he becomes. Wow. So he knew it, that it was all based on thought. Even Plato, back in 391 BC, he defined the first law of affinity, that like attracts like, earth to earth, water to water. Throughout history, even the great father of modern physics, Albert Einstein, he said, your imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. So all these people know it. They even had a best-selling movie, right? The Secret. Everybody should just be millionaires by now. Why isn't it happening? Well, I think there's a few key steps that we sometimes overlook. I think all you need to do to get the life of your dreams is to visualize, believe, and take action. That's fairly simple. 3 things. Everybody can do that. A lot of people are good at the visualizing, but sometimes the taking action part eludes them. But when I get to that, you'll realize it's not that much effort. Visualization. Any of you that are former sports stars, high school, college, anybody that's done anything, you've probably run across someone, a coach, that said, you need to see it. See that it happens. You probably tell your kids this. Well, just see that you're going to make a touchdown, hit a home run, win the World Series like our San Francisco Giants. Go Giants. We got a big fan in the back. Nice. Visualizing is easy. You should do it every day, but not all day. You should spend 5 minutes.
Thank you, Brad.
Karen asked me to say that. No, it's true. If you visualize all day, one of the problems you run into is that you're constantly thinking of where you're at and comparing it with where you want to be. And what do you recognize? The gap. I'm not there yet. Anybody have kids and take a long trip with them in a car? Yeah, that's what you do if you visualize all day. So you've got to think about it for 5 or 10 minutes. Picture it. Smell the smells. Feel the sights. Everything you can imagine about where you want to be, whether if it's a promotion, which is interesting. Years ago, Kevin Johnson, the current mayor, came to talk to us at a TBMI. Seemed like a very nice man. And then when he ran for mayor, I was so excited. But a few weeks before the election, does anyone remember what happened to Mayor Johnson? He was in trouble because he had talked to a security guard that led him into the mayor's chambers. And you know the crime he committed? He sat in the mayor's chair. Now, why would a man running for mayor go sit in the current mayor's chair? That seems like the silliest thing I've ever heard of. People said, do you think it's going to affect the outcome? I said, I do. I think he's going to be elected mayor. They said, why? I said, because he could see it. My brother, about 1.5 years ago, was applying for a job at a winery in Napa. And I said, hey, when you go to that interview, are they going to show you where you might work? And he said, well, yeah, they talked about giving me a full tour. I said, when you get to the office and they say, this is where you would work, do me a favor, sit in the chair. He said, okay. He did, and he got the job. It really helps if you can feel like you already have it. But 5 or 10 minutes a day. Shortly after I came back from Seattle, I was teaching a group of friends and family this very thing at my house. And I was telling them how on my walk in, I would think about winning the lottery, right? Money coming to me every day, walking into work. And then I realized with the day I told them, I could probably think about that when I leave work too. It's the same walk. I did it that day and won $600. Now, can I remember to do it every day? Not usually. You know, you're thinking of other things. Where am I going to go after work? But you really need to carve out time, set it aside, and spend that 5 minutes, whether it's for, like I say, a promotion, something in your personal life, whether you want to buy a home. I mean, I bought a house that I probably shouldn't have been able to buy, but took a picture of it and set it on the nightstand and looked at it every night. And it's crazy how those things work. Visualizing is the key. It's where we start. But the biggest thing you need to do is believe. And when I say believe, I don't mean just having faith in something you can't see. A lot of people struggle with that. But when you think about it, how many of you walked out the door this morning concerned there'd be enough air for you to breathe? None of us. We had faith it was going to be there. We can't see it, but it's crucial to our life. We just take it on faith. But I mean beyond believing and having faith, I mean your beliefs. Because having faith is great. But what beliefs do you have that could currently be limiting your ability to create the life of your dreams? Anybody ever hear that there's no free lunch? I've heard that one. Or that you've got to work hard to get that. It takes years before you can become a manager, before you can become a CEA, all these prerequisites that people put in our heads. And yet, then we turn on the TV and we see Kim Kardashian with seemingly little skill and ability, but yet millions of dollars. Why does she have millions and I don't? Because she believes she's deserving. She doesn't have all that stuff in her head that it takes years, you got to pay your dues. She just goes and does it. And it works. It works every time. Your beliefs are the biggest thing to stopping you from getting everything you want in life. If you think it's going to be a lot of traffic on the way to work, guess what? You're going to be right. If you think something's going to be difficult, it is. It's funny, Dr. Wayne Dyer likes to say that hostile people live in a hostile world, and successful people live in a successful world. But it's the same world. It's the one you create. And speaking of creation, for you quantum physicists out there, everybody knows particles exist in a state of superposition before they become what they're going to be. And the only thing that changes that is the observer. Yes, I know, on a theoretical basis, the moon's not there till you look for it. But they've actually done a number of studies that show that those particles become something when someone looks at them. Their state is altered just by your observation. And if we think about it, if I had you picture your vehicle or your house, if we looked at it together, we could see what color it is and what size it is. And if I had you close your eyes, you could see the same thing. It's a red car, it's a blue house. So is your vision what creates your reality? Or is it created in your mind? I think it's created in your mind. And if it is, why wouldn't you create the best one ever? Seems like a great idea. Instead of assuming that things are on the negative, spin them on the positive. That's the way it works. So if somebody doesn't return a phone call, or you get that email and you're thinking, what the heck? Why is he or she talking to me like that? Maybe you could look at it on the other side and say, maybe they didn't have time to type the whole email. Maybe they really didn't mean that, right? Maybe they meant something a lot more positive. In fact, I usually pick up the phone, and as soon as I call, they're like, oh, you know what, forget that email. I was in a hurry, and I know it doesn't read right, but I just wanted to get it to you. Think good thoughts, because those thoughts become the things of your life.